In the heart of northern New Mexico, a really important conversation is getting started. It's all about Taos, its future, and, the one resource that connects absolutely everything and everyone here: water. So today, we're going to dive into the Taos Community Resilience Initiative. It's a plan that's being built by the community for the community.
If you've ever spent time in Taos, you get it. There's just this magic to the place. You see it in the light that hits the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. You feel it in the deep, deep cultural roots. And there's just this undeniable bond between the people and the land. It's a community that's truly woven right into its environment.
And that deep connection, it really brings up a critical question for all of us, right? How do we make sure this incredible place doesn't just survive, but actually thrives for all the generations to come? Okay, so to figure out the path forward, we've got to first take a hard look at the challenges we're facing right here and right now in this place we all call home. Okay, let this number really sink in for a second. 1,200 years. Scientists have confirmed that the Southwest is in its driest period in over a millennium. This isn't just some dry spell or a bad season, It's a massive climatic shift, and it is changing the very nature of the water that makes life possible here.
And this isn't some far-off problem happening somewhere else. No way. Federal data shows that right now, 100% of Taos County is being impacted by drought. That means every single family, every farmer tending their acequias, every local business, every little corner of our ecosystem is feeling this.
And when we look ahead, the picture is just as serious. The state's 50-year water plan, it's projecting a potential 25% drop in our available water by 2050. Now, this isn't a problem we can kick down the road for our kids to solve. It's a reality we have to plan for today. We've got to be proactive, not reactive.
But hey, these challenges, they aren't the end of the story. Not at all. In fact, they're the beginning of a proactive, really hopeful response. A path forward that's being built by the Taos community for the Taos community.
It's called the Taos Community Resilience Initiative. And really, you can think of it as a framework for working together. A shared effort to protect the long-term health and vitality of the entire Taos region.
And here's the big idea behind it all. The initiative is designed to build a shared understanding of the natural systems that support all of us. It's a pretty simple but really powerful concept, right? When we can all see the same clear picture of our environment, we can make smarter, more unified decisions for our future together.
So, how does this actually work? What does it look like on the ground? Let's break down how the initiative is set up.
Okay, so the initiative is really built on three core pieces that all work together. First, you have the assessment. That's all about gathering the facts to get a clear, data-driven picture of our home. Then there's the coalition, which brings all that crucial local knowledge and expertise to the table to help guide the process. And finally, the hub. This is where all this information is made accessible to everyone, creating this open, shared resource for the whole community.
Now, what's so smart about this is how it's designed to solve a huge problem we have. Right now, so much of the vital information about our water and our land is just scattered. It's in dozens of different reports and agencies. It's fragmented. The whole goal here is to connect those pieces, to turn all that scattered data into one single, shared, and trusted place for understanding.
So while the initiative is looking at the big picture, it's starting with the most critical piece of the puzzle: water. It really is the foundation that everything else is built on.
So you might be asking, why start with water? And why link it to wildfire risk and climate variability? Well, it's because here in Taos, water is deeply, deeply connected to our other most urgent challenges. You just can't separate them.
I mean, think about it. Water is the absolute lifeblood of Taos. It nourishes our farms and flows through our historic acequias. It's fundamental to our public health. It decides how healthy our forests and watersheds are. Seriously, every single aspect of our community's resilience starts and ends with water.
And this brings us to a really key idea: ecological carrying capacity. It's kind of a technical term, but the idea is simple. It's asking a really important question. How much water do we really have for the long haul? And how can we live within those limits without damaging the very natural systems we all depend on? It's all about planning for a future that the land can actually sustain.
And that brings us right to where we are now, the starting point. Phase 1 is about two equally important things. First, it's an assessment phase, getting all the existing information organized so we can see the full picture. But just as important, it's a trust-building phase. This is about listening. It's about building relationships and creating a really strong foundation of collaboration for all the work that's going to come next.
And that brings us to what is truly the most important part of this whole thing. This initiative isn't something that's just happening to the community. It absolutely depends on community participation. Your voice, your experience, it truly shapes this work.
There's a quote from the initiative that just says it all, I think. The community itself holds valuable insight about what matters, what is missing, and what needs more attention. The real expertise isn't just in some scientific report, it's in the lived experiences of the people who call this place home.
For this whole thing to work, it has to be grounded in reality. And what that means is that it must be informed by the lived experiences and local knowledge of farmers, of ranchers, of business owners, of residents, really, of everyone who has a stake in the future of Taos.
So how can you be a part of this? Well, the first step is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. By filling out the Community Resilience Questionnaire online, you can share what matters most to you, what your biggest concerns are, and what you think our community's priorities should be. This is your chance to add your voice to this absolutely vital conversation.
You know, the future of Taos is a story that we are all writing together. So thank you. Thank you for your time, for your attention, and for your commitment to this incredible place we're all lucky enough to call home.